Good day and welcome to the Lifestyle Podcast. My name is Thabo Mbeki and I've got a special guest today and it's going to be an explosive conversation. Welcome, Mr. Must I say Doctor?
Doctor.
I would prefer to say Doctor.
Doctor, yes.
Dr. Charley Pietersen.
Arthur, I'm welcome. You know what? It's an honor for me. He was my star. I'm still having his, what do we call it? CDs and everything.
CDs and everything.
Yes, I used to dance on his music.
And we chat all the time
All
on
the
WhatsApp.
time, yeah, yes.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's an
Ladies and
honor.
gentlemen,
Thank you.
Dr. Charley Pietersen,
sir.
welcome. Finally, we get to chill and just
Thank you.
discuss, business, talk about your work, your beautiful
Yeah.
work, the work that you do, writing books. And I still have to write my first book. It's the most difficult thing ever. Maybe you'll hook
Let's
me
talk,
up.
yeah. I'll send the invoice.
To all those people that are out there,
Yeah.
you've been in various industries. You've been in the banking industry. You've been in football.
Football, yes.
You are now writing books.
Yes.
Who is Dr. Charley Pietersen?
Arthur, thank you for the opportunity. I'm originally from the Free State, ne? Born and bred in a small town called Smithfield in the Free State.
Which one?
Smithfield, on your way to the Eastern Cape.
Oh, yes, yes.
You see?
Before Aliwal.
Before Aliwal,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
So I always said,
You see, I've traveled all over.
yeah, no, you know the space. So, but all my schooling and everything happened in Bloemfontein, Heidedal. This is where I met the great Thabo Mbeki when I was a bank teller. So I was raised, you'll see one of my books, I was raised by a single mother. I went and looked up for my father at the age of 21 because as boys and even ladies, we battle with identity problems. You know that when you grew up without a father, you will always think your grandfather is your father, of the uncle next door, until you confront the situation.
Yes.
So I went and looked up for my father at the age of 21, and you know what? He didn't even recognize me, because the guys those years, they were just fathering children like nobody's business.
Also, but he was alive.
He was alive, yes. And most of them, most of the fathers, then from there I started the book. But it's a long journey, growing up without a father. But before that I met Thabo Mbeki and I used him as a father figure.
Which year is it when you met Thabo Mbeki?
Yo, now we're gonna reveal our age now,
Yeah.
Arthur. Yeah.
No, it's okay. How old were you? Maybe that should have.
I was 21.
Okay.
I was 21, yeah. Because if we have to reveal how old
Oh,
are
yeah,
we,
no, it's
they
fine.
won't respect you, the
Yeah.
crew and everything. And when I met him at the age of 21, he brought me in, He started to coach me. There are certain things that I never had from a biological father, so I picked it up. But also Tate used to have different characters. You know that he can stop a soccer game.
Yes.
He can disrupt everything. So as a young man growing up, I thought I need to look at good things that I'm taking away from Tate, the good and the bad, ne? Not getting into a field and chase the referee and everything. And we'll talk later about the special projects that everyone is talking about. And so I went through that whole stages, and he introduced me to the likes of Dr. Ivan Kozak, Dr. Keza Motaung, Dr. Jomo Sono. By that time, they were not doctors. It was Dr. Koza, Dr. Keza, Dr. Jomo, Dr. Molimela, and Dr. Chomani, all of them. Dr. Tuso, but all of them are doctors now, and I honor them and I respect them. Then from there, I started to navigate into life, into the banking sector, from a teller to regional manager. And during those days, Arthur, it was a question of black people were not promoted in the bank.
Yeah.
So it's still, I was checking the stats of the financial sector charter. They are still battling with the same problem. It's not addressed. And so I went through everything, and later I came and became a deputy venue manager of the World Cup 2010. I worked with the likes of Ntate Danny Jordan and everything. So I always said as a child, that nothing is too small. And I always said to fatherless kids that you need to have a dream, Arthur. You need to dream big. Don't restrict yourself, because if you stay in the mukuku, does not make you a mukuku. That's what I said to Bernard Parker, because I also wrote his book.
Yes.
Yes,
because there's a lot of books that you wrote.
Yes.
And hence I wanted to start navigating your life up to where you got to end up writing books.
Books, yes.
Yes. You know, because you went searching for your dad.
Yeah.
You also worked for Ntate Molemele.
Yes.
Which one came first?
Which one came first? Everything, my life actually shaped when I was with Ntate Molemele, and I found direction. So I used to drive with him from Bloemfontein to Joburg for meetings. You know, Ntate never went to school.
Yeah.
So he will give me the minutes of the meeting, of the last meeting.
Okay.
And he will say, Charley Pietersen minutes.
Yeah.
So I will read the minutes over and over, and he will memorize it.
Yes.
So he will ask, Ivan Olakaring, no, Ivan Olakaring. So in that meeting, Tate will relate the minutes like he read it. And from there, he started to tell me stories. I never thought that I'll write books.
Yes.
He will tell me about his life and everything. And I started to collect newspaper articles of him, put it away and everything, and relate to his stories. And one day I approached him and said, Tate, I want to write your book. And he was laughing at me.
Yeah.
Munna Charlie, munna.
Wait, I think.
I say, yes, Tate, give me a chance. So I go on with that. But the most highlight in my life was when I asked Ntate Molemele, Ntate Molemele, what will you do one day if I introduce you to Nelson Mandela? Don't forget, we haven't met Mandela, myself and Tate. Tate, I know, man, Charlie. I like.
But by then, are you the CEO already, or you?
No, I was a PRO. I was a PRO. I was a cashier because no. Let's go back, Arthur. He recruited me at the bank, so I was working with the bank as a teller. Now every time when Tate came into the bank, all the people were scattered because they are scared of him.
Yeah.
And by those years, I get nearly a millionaire. You know that Tate was a millionaire.
Yeah, I know.
Him and Tate Richard Maponya. So we had Tate Maponya in Joburg and we had Tate in the Free State. So everyone was so scared of Ntate Molemele. And I said, no, man, I wonder why are they so scared of Ntate? So I started to help him at the bank. So they will bring in the money after a game of Chiefs and Pirates, because the big cash in was when you play Chiefs and Pirates.
Yes.
Then we know our budget
I've seen scenarios where the money would be counted.
Yes.
There's a special room after a game.
Yes.
And then all that cash is there. You know, I don't know how, I've always made my way into that room by mistake.
Yeah.
After matches.
But now.
And they just pack it there and they start counting.
Yes. Now I said to them, nah, man, every time they will just bring it like that, then us as tellers, it will take me the whole day to count the money. It will be maybe 80,000, but it will take me the whole day because it's coins, those 2 rand notes, you remember
and they
them.
pack it, yeah.
Yeah, and they are not in that order. And I said to him, nah, man, can I come and help you? Putting a system together to count this money, then it's going to be easy on Mondays. He said, no, Tlo. So I started to teach them, put the money nicely and everything. So I was so clever. I will count the money there, pack it nicely, seal it my way. And when it comes on Monday, I'll just take it like that because I've counted it.
Yes.
As a teller, I know this is 80,000.
Yes.
Then I'll just give him his sleep, 80,000. And he said, no, man, hey, for years, man, when I come in here, I spend the whole day. But with you, it's only
quick.
30, 20 minutes. So we started to have that relationship. So he started to tell me all the secrets. And when I said, can I write your book? I recalled all those secrets. You'll see in the book, all the secrets came out.
What are the highlights of the book? Like things that for you were of interest?
His spirit of never giving up. Never went to school, but that didn't define Tate Molemele who he is. Ne? But the biggest one was the Mandela one, like I said to you. What will you do if I introduce you to Nelson Mandela? And he said, no.
So did it happen though?
Yes.
Wow.
He said, no, we'll cross the bridge when we get there. I said, no, just tell me. He said, no, man, Raman, and everything. So one day, when Madiba was released, Terror Lekota was the premier of the Free State.
Yes.
And you know he's an Orlando Pirates supporter. Now what happened, Pirates and Chiefs, I think, it was that fight between Pirates and Chiefs that the youngsters don't know that this love now between Chiefs and Pirates
Never used to be.
Nah, never used to be. So I think they burned the stadium somewhere, Orlando Pirates supporters, and Terror gave them money.
I think it was 95, but it was in the 90s, early 90s.
Yes.
I was there at the match.
Yes.
I was there.
So Terror gave them money while he was the premier of the Free State. And the whole of the Free State people, they turned it around. They said, you don't want him as a premier. Yeah, it was heavy.
Wow.
You are the premier from Free State, but you give a team from Gauteng money.
Yeah.
Now the people were saying that Terror gave the money of the government.
Yeah.
So I wrote him a letter as PRO. I still have that letter. Mr. Lekota, on behalf of Bloemfontein Celtics, this is very unacceptable what you did. Thank you. We're not happy. Send that time there was no emails and everything. It was fax and
But
delivery.
what if that was the turning point for Celtics to end up having so many supporters?
Yeah, but the supporters...
Because then you had to then build that belief of, the local people.
Yeah, but the support was always there from 1985 and everything. But now, because of lack of sponsors and everything, it just dwindled. But now they were so united around this thing, Lekota, ne?
Exactly what I'm talking
Yes.
about. That it united.
It united the
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And even the Free State Stars teams were also said, yeah, man, yeah, and Tate Mike Mukwet. So I received a call on my phone. That time it was private numbers. Hey, is this Mr. Charley Pietersen? I said, yes. I said, no, this is Terror Lekota. I thought I'm dreaming. Yeah, man. Terror Lekota calling me because I put my number there on the letter. I said, nah, can you come and see me on Monday at 9 o'clock at Lebuhang building? Hey, I thought to myself, I said, hey, Kematat. That guy called me. And are you coming with me? Daddy said, no, I'm not coming with you. I'm not coming with you. Go. I'm angry. This guy gave Orlando Pirates money. So when I arrived at the offices, Arthur, the security, you can't just go in.
Yeah.
They want your ID, they want this, they want this. So when I arrived, the first security guys asked me, are you Mr. Pietersen? I said, yes. No, you can come through, sir. I said, am I not signing in? They said, no. So I'm getting worried.
So it also elevated you.
In a way, yes. But also put fear in me, Arthur, because these guys don't want my signature on record and my data that I was in this building. Because if I listen to this guy, Terror Lekota, this guy was rough, man. Because my letter was not a soft letter.
Yeah.
Harsh. Yeah, gate number 2 the same, gate number 3 the same. Hey. Last entrance, also the same. And luckily when I got to the 4th floor of Lebuhang building, there's a lady that I know, Mina. I say, hey, Mina, hey, can you see I'm here? Yes, Charlie, I know, because the premier is waiting for you. Please tell my family what time did I arrive here? And that they would be like, here are the numbers. Then they must know if I don't come.
And then there was no WhatsApp. Yeah?
I give them the numbers. Yeah, when I'm sitting there, and here comes the guy. I haven't met him, very short guy. Hi, Mr. Pietersen, how are you? Hi, my name is Terra. I said, no, my name is Charlie. Yeah, sit down, sir. Close the door. Hey, and I'm looking now here in the office for ways, windows, where I can jump.
Just in case.
Yeah, I'm restless. And he came, he said in Afrikaans, hey, moet ek het droog gemaak. So in Afrikaans, I messed up.
Yeah.
How can I come out of this? And my self-confidence came back. I said, no, definitely, sir, you did messed up. So, how can I help you? I said, the first question, how much did you give Orlando Pirates?
So you're now digging.
Yes, now I can feel now the atmosphere, as I said.
Yeah.
He said, no, I gave them 1,000 rand. I said, no, so Etten said it's 25,000. I need proof that it's... Said, no, my checkbook. Here's my checkbook. Can you see it's 1,000? Say, yeah, okay. Said, all right, here's the story. You give us 1,000 rand, the Celtics.
Oh yeah, to match it.
Yeah, to match it, to help you now. And Sunday it's a game between Pirates and Celtics. So I'm going to dress you in Celtics colors for Sewelele to see. I know in your heart, deep in your heart, you're Pirates. I say, keep it there. Keep it there. And I want to ask that yourself to come out. from the tunnel to greet the players. You know how the Siwelele people, they made a song of that, it was finished and clear.
Yeah.
So a week after that, I heard that Mr. Mandela is coming to the Free State. Now I've got connections. with
Yeah,
the
now you can walk in.
Yeah, now I'm calling me. I said, hey, Premier, I need a favor. Hey, Muna, let's see what we can do. I said, no, Chief, you can't say, let's see what we can do. What was impossible for you, I make it possible.
Yeah.
So this is what you need to make it possible. I heard that Mandela is coming to the Free State, and it's going to be at the Protea Hotel, and it's business people and everyone, and we need 2 tickets to sit next to him. Yo, that's difficult, because that time you were paying either to sit next to Mr. Mandela, I think 100,000 a chair or table. I said, no, Chief, make a plan. So he called me after that. He said, no, you know what, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is that there's 2 tickets for you guys. The bad news is that it's not at the same table as Mr. Mandela.
I'm sure you didn't care.
I said, no. He said, no, it's table number 2. I said, table number 2 is good as table number 1.
Yes.
Boom. Then I went to Ntate Molemi. I said, Ntate, ish, re na le di-sponsor tse tlang, man. Di batla go bona ka 9. This day, and also tene sharp, man. I said, no, man, Charlie. No, and I'm going to fetch you, Ntate. I'm going to fetch you very early, because I want to make sure I'm taking him. After we arrived there, the hotel, but the hotel is pumping. People are already in that. They said, what? Meeting you or how would it take place and all this? I said, no, just don't worry. And you know, the president, that time, before he arrived, I get about a sweeper now.
Yeah.
The dogs and everything come in and everything. So that is heading on less year. Not long after that, it became quiet. And when we look up, there's then a man. I have never seen Mr. Mandela in my whole life. I haven't seen Mr. Mandela. It's quiet.
And you remember when he used to walk in,
that
you
aura.
know, the commotion, the aura.
The aura and everything, yes.
I mean, everybody would like...
Yeah. And you know what? He stood there. He looked straight to our table and said, Bulimela, how are you? How are the boys? They never met. How are the boys? Ntate pinched me. Ne?
Yeah.
He started to sweat. Ntate Mandela, look there, don't look at me. Huh? And he's sweating.
And you know what was good about the late president?
Yes.
You know, he was very strategic.
Yeah.
He researches wherever he goes. He would research
everything.
Yes, he would research.
He
gets there, he mentions the locals. He gets there, he mentions the business people.
Yeah. And interesting, he said, you know this white head? Ne? Interesting, Mulimela was the only white head outside of jail while the rest of us were in jail.
And everybody...
Do you know his team, Bloemfontein Celtics? You know there's a feast. They call it Punya Selese.
Yeah.
No, we discussed with Mulimela. It was not a feast. It was Amandla, away to. People thought it's Punya Selese. Yeah. Bam! That was the highlight.
Yeah. So it's in the book.
It's in the book, yeah.
And then the ups and downs as well of Celtics, they also covered there.
Yes.
Because, I mean, if you remember quite well, Celtic would be relegated, it would come back, and at some point it would be sold. The people would demand that Ntate Molemi comes back and take
down.
over. All
Yeah,
those are
yeah.
there.
Now, all those are there. And also, you know, the lack of sponsorship and the lack of cooperation. You know, I've seen it now, even with Celtics coming back now. Those business people will only talk from the Free State, but they will never come forward and put their money to save the team.
And just to deviate a little bit, because we're going to discuss, you know, touch on the style of your books. But then, at the moment, there are rumors that Celtic might come back.
I heard that rumor.
Are you hopeful?
If I look at the lineup,
Are the previous owners involved as well? Because
if they mention Greeks,
yes,
my
because
my
they are the
observation,
ones that, yes.
they are the ones, yeah.
Yes.
And if they mention Greeks, I will appreciate them because Jimmy them were good with Celtic.
they built it.
They built it.
Yes. But then they left.
No, they were pushed.
Yes.
They were pushed.
Oh, they were pushed.
No,
to
they
the
were
pen.
pushed,
Okay.
yeah.
Because I thought maybe they just felt.
No,
it was
they were
not-
pushed. They said, no. It's time now for other owners to come in, you guys. So if it's Jimmy them, I assure you Celtics will be back where it belongs. But if it's other people, I don't know. I don't think they will like to bring it to Bloom. And if they bring it to Bloom...
No, it will go to Bloom. I don't think everybody has learned the lesson after Royal AM.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody would want to take Celtic anywhere
But
else.
don't forget, I you're buying Royal AM.
No. I'm talking about Celtic. If
Yeah.
you buy Royal AM, definitely they might not take it there.
Yeah.
Remember, there's two options.
Yeah.
So I hear. They say it's Northwest. Somebody
Coffee.
Northwest. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the Black Coffee
Yeah.
one. It might emerge, but you know, at the moment they said two were left. It was the Free State and the Northwest one.
I hope it's the Free State because that will help that province. Because when it comes to tourism and everything, Bloom was booming.
There was
and
two things. It was Makufe and it was Celtic.
it was Celtics,
Yes.
yeah. So we hope that really they can bring it back.
Okay, let's hope for the best.
Yes, sir.
And then the books that you wrote,
Yes, sir.
there are plenty. 2, 4, 6. I'm seeing 7 here.
Yeah.
And I know you
the other
also
three are-
did the Bennett Parker, if I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken.
it's here, Bennett Parker, yeah.
Yes.
And Lucas Masterpieces Muripe.
Oh, you also wrote them?
Yes,
oh,
yes, I
remember you did
wrote
tell me.
Lucas Masterpieces Muripe.
Can you tell us a bit about Ntate Masterpieces? I met him and I was shocked. And you say you wrote a book. I don't know if he was joking or just charming me like Ntate Mandela would charm people. He said his other name is Arthur. And you don't have it in the book.
No,
and
I
he told me straight.
It's not in the book, but I think under the nicknames.
Yes. No, he said it's his real name. And I asked him, why are you not using it? Why didn't you use it? Unfortunately, he's gone. I was going to bring him to the show.
I
He's
don't
late
know.
now.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
late. Yeah.
Because I'm curious. Every time I say that, people say, you are lying. And he's the one who told me straight. What are his other names?
Man, Macro, Lucas,
Masterpieces,
Masterpieces, Macro.
Tell us, why do they call him Modimo wa Bolo?
This guy was great. And if you look at it, actually they said he was the first black player that went abroad. You know, he went and played in Hong Kong. And one of his other names was also Hong Kong.
Yeah, because that also confuses me. There's Kalamazoo,
Kalamazoo,
there's
Masterpieces,
Who went
yeah.
overseas first?
Between the two, but according to me, I think Kalamazoo went
Okay.
first. Yeah, and Master.
Yes,
But there was not a lot of attention on Master.
yes.
You know the fight, like Pitori, the Gauteng,
Yes.
and
I mean,
all
it's
that.
continuing with Sundowns and Pirates.
Yes,
Yes.
the rivalry is coming from there.
Yes.
So Ntate Lucas was so great that the great Pele, it's even in the book, that great Pele, the late great Pele, flew from Brazil to Hong Kong to meet with Master. Bane ba mitsa Modimo wa bona.
Yes.
So when Pele met him, he said to Pele, Pele said, I heard that you are a good player. But Pele was older than him.
Yes.
Yeah, Master said, no, I'm learning all these things from you. So Master was such a genius. Jomo will tell you that if Kelly's is playing against maybe Pirates or Chiefs at Atteridgeville Stadium, because before it was Lucas Masterpieces Muripe, Master will not come in with the 11 players that are coming in. The 10 will come in. Then later, Master will be coming on a horse, wearing Romans clothes. You see the Romans, white robe, everything. So the horse will come and drop him off in the center of the ball.
Because I hear about such beautiful stories, and I ask myself, where were the rules?
Hey, Munda,
It didn't matter. It was
it
part of
didn't
the
matter.
fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was. Yeah, it's like when Jomo Pirates and Kellys were playing. Jomo was dribbling him because Jomo was 15 years old.
Yeah.
He said it was his debut to play against Master Lucas Pieces Muripe, and he was dribbling everyone. And the last guy that he stood in front was Master, and he dribbled. Master was looking at him, and Jomo took the ball and he gave it to Master in a live game. Are you
And the
my
crowd
hero?
went mad.
The crowd went mad. No yellow cards, no red cards.
Are those things in the book?
It's in the book, yeah.
You know, don't you get worried that there are such beautiful stories. I'm sure the young people that are sitting here don't know about these beautiful stories. Why aren't we turning this into movies as well? Because there are beautiful stories of South African football, of the great stars. I mean, we have Ace Ntoleng that went overseas. We had Kaizer Motaung. People only know Kaizer Chiefs. They don't know that he went to play overseas. People don't even know that Jomo Sono is the South African player, only South African player that played with the great Pele. All these stories are not told.
like this,
People don't know those stories.
I don't know, but even with Master.
And people don't even know that Jomo played against Kaiser's team that beat Kaiser's team, and Jomo was playing with
abroad.
Yes. But people don't know those stories.
But you see, I think that's the nature of us. Like Ntate Lepile Taunyani said one day, is that, you know, us black people don't want to tell our stories. We wait for Americans to come and said, can I do a story on Mandela?
Then
can
we get excited.
Yes, then we get excited. But us as South Africans, we don't want to take that initiative. Even with myself, with Ntate Lucas Masterpieces Muripe, Ntate Malada from Pretoria Kellys, he read my other books. He said, no man, can you please write a story about Ntate Muripe? So it took me 3 years. So I spent 3 years with the old man in the wheelchair, during his illnesses and everything.
That's when I met him as well.
Yes.
I still have photos.
And also after that, we forget about our heroes. He was forgotten. The idea of the book was actually to be his pension and his bread and butter income. But he went before he could reap the fruits of his book. And you know that...
Also, you released it after he passed away.
No, it was in the process.
Yes.
So the book was just finished. He saw it. There's pictures of him going through his book. He slept with his book every day.
Such a humble man.
Such a humble man. But you know that even the president of CAF, Ntate Patrice Motsepe and Lucas was so close. And Dr. Motsepe's father wanted to buy Kelly some years ago. But the politics that time was that, no,
yes.
You know, people... short-sighted and everything. I said, just think if that the ABC Motsepe bought Kelly's that time.
Then, yes.
Then Sundowns was not going to be there.
Yeah. But it's okay. We've got Sundowns. So you've written a whole lot of books here.
Yeah.
And so it's Ntate Molemela, Masterpieces, Bernard Parker are more about football.
Football, yes.
And then what?
Then I've got this one for the boys, boy child to matter. You know, if one look in South Africa, all the attention is always going to the girl child. Bring a girl child to school and everything. And nothing is said about the boy child.
What inspired that?
This one is
to look at the boy child, because like you just said, it's always about the girl child. What made you pause and say, what about the boy child?
Look, as I wrote growing up without a father, and I was a boy child. So I went through all that struggle. Sometimes people will say, this guy is crazy. This one, because they don't understand us. So I've looked at, if one look at a boy child and the anger and the pain in most of the boy childs, and if one look at gender-based violence, Arthur, and all these things.
It has to do with upbringing most of the time.
Yes, it's upbringing and the lack of something. Because you have to defend yourself all the time as a boy child. You don't know how to give love because you've never received love from anyone.
So how are you addressing that problem in the book?
Is that understand the boy child, how the boy child thinks. And also tell the boy child that there are certain stages in your life that you are going through. You don't have to go and ask. You'll see there on the index. You don't have to go and ask certain things from a gangster or a mafia. Because of boys and affirmation, you know, Arthur, if you have a father and a father tell you, hey, you are a great player, you will excel. Even with a girl, when a father said to a girl, my baby, you're so beautiful. Now, if the Ben 10 come and tell her she's beautiful, she believed the Ben 10 because there was no father telling her that she's beautiful. Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to say to the boy child is that you know, sometimes you don't have to have a biological father if he's not there. There's some mentors, there's some role models. And sometimes, Arthur, you guys are role models, even if they can't reach you there because of busyness and everything. Read books about Arthur. How did he get there? Look at the likes of Barack Obama.
You know, it's strange that you're mentioning that. I always say to a lot of people that I got to where I am in life because of reading such books.
Yeah.
I mean, it's strange. Maybe by then they didn't have a Michael Jackson book, but it was based on stories that one would read on newspapers and stuff. But you know, it was your Muhammad Ali
Yes,
books, Pele
yes,
books.
yes.
Those days, those things existed.
Yeah.
And one started adopting this hero character from then.
Exactly.
Because when I remember as a kid as well, I know I didn't even have money at home, and they just called people on stage and they started asking, what's Pele's real name? You know, who won the football of the year?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
said
yeah.
Ruth Gullit. And
Yeah.
I got a lot of money, like a lot of money. And I think that's what helped me. Reading those books, understanding, you know, that you can actually be somebody. And one day people ask, I'm sure you even forgot Pele's real name.
Yeah.
I still
It's
remember
long, that
you
long,
know,
what
you
Pele,
know,
yeah.
Edson Arantes de Nascimento.
Yeah.
I answered that question and I got a lot of money. I took the money. I went to buy clothes for my Pansula group. We entered for a competition. We won that competition. I took the money and then I started climbing up the ladder, but it started from a book.
Yes, the same with me.
Because if I didn't read that book, I would not even have answered those questions.
Spot on. With me also, you know, when my mother was a reader. So as a small child, she will read. For me, I'll look at the pictures. So they used to have a book club. Now when the uncles are coming, I said, no man, leave this one. You know that book, Reiter and Swart, Ben and all.
Yes, remember all those,
Yes.
all those characters. I
Yes,
knew all of them.
yes.
Tom Sawyer. there was
Tom Sawyer, all those
things.
guys.
I read all those books. I started writing books from primary school, believe it or not. But when I grew up, I stopped writing.
Yeah. No
I
man,
started writing songs instead.
you must come back.
But I wrote books. I
Bro, you
was
must come
asking
back.
myself, what happened to all my manuscripts of the books I wrote? as a kid?
You must go look for it.
But up to today, I haven't written even a single book.
But sit down, Arthur. Recall yourself. Lock yourself down for a week.
Because I don't think people understand. It's like today's world. People say we love Cristiano Ronaldo, we love Messi. If you ask all Messi fans, what are the real names of Messi?
They don't
No one will give you that name. But if you read it, you're going to
Yeah,
read it and
read-
go back and read it and go back and read it. And
readers are leaders. I believe in
I
them.
love that. Readers are leaders.
It's a fact. You know, at school, my headmaster called my mom and said, no, man. Instead of appreciating what I'm doing and saying, he said to me, to my mother, no, man, you must check. This boy is not right. Because I will relate stories. You know that time when you have stand in front of the class and tell a story. I'll talk about Honolulu because I've
Yes.
read about
Yeah.
Honolulu. So the teacher don't even know what is Honolulu.
Yeah.
Teacher will ask me, what is Honolulu after that class? I said, no, man, it's an island.
I was going to say, is it not an island?
Yes.
Because I remember Honolulu, it was in adverts.
Yes. They said, no, this is this island. Have you been there? You're going to be sick, man. There, you're going to cause problems. And what is that one of Eddie Murphy, Get Naked in Tahiti?
Yeah.
You know, things like that. So I was talking like that at the small age, and they didn't appreciate it. But it helped me.
Tell me, you wrote how many books now?
10.
And okay, I'm seeing 7.
Yeah, the
So
others.
you wrote 10. And how's the book market?
It's like giving you a Bible. Arthur. We are scared to read. Our people don't read. Even with my kids, my friends, their friends will buy my books and they will tell them, said, no man, why must we read while our father is here, he can tell us.
But have you also turned them into audiobooks? Because I think also
With
the
time.
attention span lately for getting into books and trying to finish a book is another problem because of social media.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
I think
We're busy with Bernard Parker's one to turn it into
audio.
audio. We want to start with his book.
Yeah, because
And you know, I'm also his life coach, I guess.
yes, I know that.
I help him with the 6 goals that he struggled to score to become the all-time goal scorer at Kaizer Chiefs. So we use the mind about visualization and everything.
Tell us about that role that you also play as well, because
Yes.
I know you are also a motivational speaker.
Yes.
Like, how do you help people?
So Arthur, what I do is like, as a life coach, because I'm a qualified life coach, you will come and tell me your story, ne? Hey, man, I'm struggling in that and this and this. And what people don't realize, life coaches are not there to give advice. We're not psychologists. So I'm telling what your challenge, I'm taking your challenges and I'm turning it around and I'm giving it back to you. Like you said now, Arthur, you said you've written books, but you haven't sat down. I said, but Arthur, what do you think about locking yourself for a week, writing down this? So I'm just taking out the nuggets, because when I approached Bernard Parker, when he was struggling that time at Kaizer Chiefs, the supporters were on him, everyone, he was a captain, the team was not winning, he was not scoring, and I said to him, what is your biggest problem? He said, fear of going to the stadium, and that's what's happening with most of the teams. I even had a chat with Kevin Hunt. I said, Kevin, give me your team for a week. We'll turn it around.
Yeah, because it's the strangest thing. Gavin Hunt is one of the greatest
He's a
coaches.
top coach.
And then, but SuperSport is like second last now.
Yeah, actually they're fighting relegation.
Yes.
And it can also happen.
Not that they will be relegated.
No, they won't. It's also that fear that players are having. So we've seen that through the years.
Because you have a very confident coach, but you have a team of stars that are just not.
And your team is not that team that I found certain teams ask me, because when they ask me to motivate their players, I ask them, did you pay your players their bonuses? Did you pay them their money? No, then I'm not coming. How do you expect me to motivate players if you haven't paid them? Because for players, their motivation is money. That's when Tate Molemela was a winner. If he come into the dressing room and said, Pizza Chiefs, Tsaboba Pizza, ke le fa 1,000 rand ha le tswa mona. He will stand there with his envelopes, not like Mam Kize there on the pitch that time. That will give them the 1,000 rands. Because players are like kids.
But you know, that kind of motivation, I understand you. But you look at a team like Pirates, they never do that kind of motivation where they say, go win and we'll get whatever, but they still get to win. Aren't you getting this salary to go perform?
That is not sustainable. Players are players are like children. I promise you, if you can go, Sundowns use that method. I don't know, can you remember
Sundowns
in the
use it.
beginning?
But it's not like Sundowns need the money.
Yeah, no. That Tepe that time will tell the players, hey, the top 8, it's 8 million. You guys share that 8 million. They win. Apart from the salaries, now you know that there's 8 million. Make your sums, there's an extra one.
But I'm giving an example with a team that doesn't do it. Pirates, in the last 3 years, 6 trophies, and they don't do that.
I know, but other teams are coming, doing that. Money is a motivator, big motivator. I was even saying to Ntate, why don't we give them living wages and increase their bonuses? Because if you increase their bonuses, it's linked to performance. So it means that you're earning 2.5, there's 10 games left. So all that other games is 10,000 a win.
But wouldn't you say then that's why you guys couldn't sustain Celtic for too long? Because if you keep on doing those incentives, you're hurting the coffers of the team.
No, it was out of his pocket. So what he did that time, he was using his own money.
Then what made Celtic not be sustainable?
But Celtic was Celtics was relegated, Arthur. You know, I was the CEO of Celtics. I left Celtics in 2000 when they were first relegated. So when I left, because there was some power struggle, people said I become powerful and everything. So what happened is that they played a player, Lebohang Kukami, who's having 3 yellow cards. And when they played him, the other team protested, and 3 points were deducted from them. So I was an administrator that was very strict. Checklist, everything. So when I left, occupied the yellow cards from the league, because every Wednesday it's your right as a team to call the league and ask them, hey, when I'm playing Pirates, Give me the list of yellow cards and red cards. Celtics yellow cards and red cards. So they never looked at all the smaller things, Arthur. In the same year where I left, they went and played Free State Stars, Celtics. Ne? So the traveling team ne, must come with an alternative color. Ne? So what Ntate Mukwena did that time, ne, when Celtics came out, he came out in green and white. It's his right as a home team. Boom, Celtics never had an alternative color. They borrowed.
Also, you must always travel with two kids.
Yes.
And he did it intentionally.
Yeah. Actually, it's like Chiefs and Pirates.
Yeah.
People think it's smooth. Hey, man. If it's a derby, you try everything.
So have you ever been in a situation as a life coach where you're trying to motivate somebody and it failed?
Yeah, then I won't proceed with you. It's like when I...
What causes that? And I'm asking this question because I often read about stories of people failing rehabilitation.
It's all about you. Everything starts and begins with you. Like when I approached Parker, I said, Parker, do you believe that you can score the 6 goals? Yes. But my philosophy, I don't work with superstars. If you are a diva and everything, ne, they don't want to help, need help and everything, then I can't help you. But this is my rules. What I'm telling you, you do. I'm giving you homework and everything. So people are in denial, Arthur. They will lie in front of you and say, no, I don't use these things anymore. But if you want to be helped, you will drop those things. So the first game was against Sundowns of Bennett Parker. So I said to him, I want you to go buy a chair, a swing chair. You see that nice swing chairs? I said, I want you to buy that chair, and every night you must sit in that chair and visualize the game that's coming on Sunday. Smell the grass of Loftus. See yourself coming in. I make you dream. Man. And people, hey, Parker. I said, can you see that? Yes. Can you smell the grass? Yes. Now let's come to the game now. You know that you can kick with both of your legs, ne? Left and right, you can hit everything.
And that guy can kick with both. Yeah?
I said to me, let's work in your mind about this goal that you're going to score. It's going to be a cross and you're going to score it with your header. And we worked on that, work. Check that game. I'll ask him, I said, send me that goal of you that you scored against Sundowns. Exactly. And when you talk to him, Arthur, you ask him, we drew it on paper. There.
I need to have a chat with him about
No.
Yes.
Yes. We'll arrange. Boom. He scored. 5 goals left. The other goal he scored, he made Chiefs qualified to go and play in
the
CAF way that. Boom. 2 against Supersport, left, right. We rehearse those things. And I remind them. Every time. Look, I'm helping Victor Letsoalo now. And you can see the form of Victor Letsoalo.
I was going to say, but he wasn't doing badly the last few games.
No, he's picking up. He was not like that. He's picking up.
There's a game where he even got a red card or something.
Sundowns.
Yes.
But that was his own fault.
But you could see he was working hard.
No,
he wanted to prove a point. I think the drawing was too visible for him to see that day.
Yeah.
If you are helping Victor, he went all out in that match. In fact, I was sensing a goal from him that day.
No, he was going to score.
Yes.
He was going to
score.
He
was smelling it.
So we work on Victor. There's a few players in the DDC also that grasp, and the little ones, they easy than the bigger ones. Because Arthur, this is a practice. Even yourself. Everything.
No, I do that. My kids know I'm a dreamer. I dream a lot. And
you know that.
I'm a dreamer, and sorry, it sounds sometimes being overconfident, but I believe I'm the greatest.
You are.
And I work hard on believing that I'm the greatest.
But you are.
But with humility.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
you do it
and
silently,
respect,
but you say, no one can beat me.
Yeah.
It's impossible. How do they beat me?
Yeah.
Hence I'm asking all these questions because I'm trying to see if am I overconfident, am I
No, you're
arrogant
not.
or what? Because I like, you see the things that you say. One day when I write a book or a movie, people see the little bits of papers that I normally write about. I visualize.
Yes.
I visualize. I mean, I
Everything.
visualize.
Everything.
This whole concept,
And even
sitting down and writing it down.
You have to. It's in the Bible, Arthur. Put your vision down. If God said you must do it, who are you not doing it? So all the great people ask me, hey, I saw you with a picture of Thabo Mbeki. Mandela signed my book, Long Walk to Freedom.
Wow.
I promise you, I'm writing a book now, Arthur. It's coming out, Memoirs of Madiba. So I met him 4 times. So in that 4 times that I met him, I'm writing the book.
Just to explain how it changed your life.
How it changed my life.
And how it can change other people's lives.
So this one, yes, because for me it's about other people. Now this with Madiba, I bought this book, Long Walk to Freedom. And I asked Terror, hey man, when Madiba is here, call me. Years and years passed and he never called me.
I'm going to ask you a very sensitive question.
Yeah.
Am I allowed?
It all depends. I'll put
You
a
have a very
disclaimer.
talented daughter.
Yes.
Very talented.
Yes.
And the last time we spoke a few years ago,
Hey, I wish
she has not yet made it.
Uh-uh.
And I'm not too sure where she is at the moment. How do you keep a person like that still be inspired? Because we all know, me and you, she's very talented.
Yes.
And I'm sure she's still not where she's supposed to be. How do you keep such a person motivated?
I keep them motivated by reminding them of their dreams. Now with her, I said to her, you see with youngsters coming in and this alcohol and everything that our kids are in, I said to her, my dream is to meet Tyler Perry. And I'm going to tell Tyler Perry about you. So dream with me. So she's dreaming with me and we're getting there, Arthur. One of my vision boards.
And I'm asking that because I also have offsprings.
Yeah.
And, I'm trying to learn from the life coach on how to keep the dream alive.
You have to keep them alive. You need to take them to their journey. It's like with Steve Harvey. I've put it on my vision board. I've got a vision board. I said, this is what I want. I want to meet Steve Harvey one day. I want to meet Tyler Perry because Tyler will open this door to me and everything. So I tell them the story over and over. So with Steve Harvey, Family Feud came during COVID, that time when he recorded. Somebody called me because I also share my dream with few people that I trust, and don't share your dreams with everyone. Not everyone is with you and for you. So this one guy said to me, hey Munna, you said you want to meet Steve Harvey. Did you see Steve Harvey is coming? Family Feud. So write in, man. Take your whole family there. So I tried to get my whole family because my other son is in Bloom, he couldn't come. So I failed on that. But those guys like our presentation from Family Feud. They said, Norman, can you please come in as a stand-in family? If anything happened to the other family, then you guys will be the next family.
Yeah.
But don't worry, you're also going to sit in the recording of this thing. So you will meet Steve Harvey. And I started to visualize, Arthur. I said, Steve Harvey is going to come out there, and he's going to come straight to me.
Like that.
And I took this book, Boy Child to Method, and a certificate from my foundation in an envelope. I kept it next to me. Arthur, when that guy came out during break, he came straight to me. And that, they call it the elevator pitch, that you pitch for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey, this is Charley Pietersen. I'm now connected. My foundation is connected to the Steve Harvey Foundation.
I always tell people that when you meet such people, please don't waste their time. Don't waste any CEO's time. Don't waste any celebrity's time. Don't waste. You must always have that pitch in here.
Yeah. That's what
I'd
I
rather fail, but don't waste their time.
Yes.
Because they're thinking about something else. They're also thinking about their pitch to the next person.
Yes. And don't forget, there's millions and millions of people that want to meet these guys. But let me tell you the last one. I don't know how far we... And that did Thabo Mbeki. No, Mandela signed my book. I haven't finished that one. So the one guy called me. He was an MEC for education. He said, Charlie, Mandela is here. He's in Tabanchu. And I'm sitting in Bloom at the office, in the bank. Mandela is here. Why? Tabanchu helicopter. So if you can be there in 20 minutes, o tlo mo fumana.
And you know Tabanchu is a bit
You
of a stretch.
know, between Bloemfontein.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes. You had to do it in 10 minutes.
I went home because I used to stay in Hayden to fetch the book. on the highway to Tabak. Hey, traffic cops. Stop. Karabuntate, Arabamela Muna, quick one. Oh, when and Tate Pietersen, they know me was a Celtics. Yes, well, let's not. Well, I was well. I need to be at Mandela at this time. Get the traffic cops in two saying. But again, and Tate Pietersen, they cleared the road for me. The one traffic cop in front, the one at the back. I felt like a celebrity. When we arrived, the helicopter was already busy. They stopped. I wonder who's coming.
Yeah.
They
cleared.
Hey!
I've done it a couple of times.
Jetta
where I asked for help at gigs.
Hey, Jetta Yaga between all those beautiful cars. So there's Terror in Madiba City. I'll show you the picture. Terror said, hey, Mr. Mandela, sorry, man. This is Charley Pietersen. Hey, this guy, man. This guy never take no for an answer. Can you please sign his book? Finish. So it will be in my Mandela book.
So would you also, I don't know where they study life coaching, but would you also say it also has to do with your confidence?
Big time.
Because you need to be a confident person and you need to believe that it's possible.
Belief, confidence, and also...
Are there things that you can mention that people can take notes from? What are they?
Look, the first thing is self-love. Once we taught as a person. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love this other person. And self-confidence. Doesn't matter where you come from, who you are. Ne? You need to be confident, so I'm going to achieve that thing. It's like with Thabo Mbeki. Ne? I met him. I also wanted him to sign my book, but I heard his slang name is Mzizi. Ne? So it was this function. I'll come back to that thing. It's about self-confidence. I don't fear. So I was standing, it was that before Polokwane, they removed them. Now he was standing in Bloom. It was this gala function for the ANC. So he came, man, as a president. I said, no, the only way that I can get hold of this guy, I must call this name. I said, I promise easy. You know, the delegation was going. He stopped. And he came to me.
Who's this one calling me?
Now you need to be clever now. Think on your feet. I said, no, it's me, man. Charley Pietersen, we met. So in my mind, I know you guys are meeting a lot of people. We met there and there. There was a date when they were in Cape Town. But I was there. Yes. But I never met him.
But at least you saw him.
Oh, yes, Gary. I locked him in. Don't fear things like that. That confidence must be there. It's like my philosophy was... if Arthur rejects me as a famous star,
no one sees it.
No one sees it.
You've got nothing to lose.
You've got nothing to lose.
I always say that you've got nothing to lose. Even if they were to be hard on you or harsh
I don't
on you,
care.
who cares?
Who cares?
It's their problem.
The last one, let me tell you, Amy Cleanans was Miss South Africa some years ago. So she went to Bloom on this tours of so the guys were standing there, my bras.
What made her one of the most popular Miss South Africa?
I don't know, but she was...
Because I'm trying to think.
She was a very
one of
beautiful
those,
person, yeah.
Yes, I'm trying to recall why did we know her so much.
I don't know, but she was very active and open. Like, she was standing there, and I was standing with my bras here. I said, hey, this is the time to catch it. I said, guys, what will you do if I go and ask Amy to kiss me? They said, no ways. I said, all right, 100 rand, 100 rand, 100 rand. So it means it's 600 rand. So if I lose, I have to pay them 600.
Yeah.
If I win, I collect 600. So when I arrived there, I said to Amy, I'm in deep trouble. Who are you? I said, no, ma'am, I'm just Charlie, man. But I'm in deep trouble. Can you see that, guys? Carry my rent money. My rent money. I said to them, you're going to kiss me.
I win the money.
I win the money, then my rent is sorted.
I'm sure she felt pity for you.
And when she looked at me, and she said, and if you lose, I said, I'll be on the streets and I will always remember this day. She said, all right, come, give me here.
So you emotionally blackmailed.
Yes, you must be strategic. You must be strategic. Can you connect? What I don't care. This is life. Even my son actually is a goalkeeper.
Yeah. For which team?
DDC.
Okay. Which team?
TS Galaxy,
Okay.
coached by Parker.
Nice.
So I said to him, boy, you need to be assertive. You need to know all the goalkeepers in the PSL. You need to be on the Instagram and everything.
So you do have talented kids?
I do have. They're all talented.
I really know that.
No, the boys is he played for Tax.
Wow.
He went to Chiefs, he went to Pirates, the politics and everything is now with TX Galaxy. I said to him, no, you need to be assertive. Go to that guy. So I introduced him to most of this guy, Bo, Akpei and everyone. I said, no, chat to the guy.
So you're that type of dad. You always push them in.
Yeah.
So I'm not alone.
If I don't do that, who will do it for our kids? Eh? Hey, bro.
You're killing me.
Who will do it for our kids? No, even the guys.
Mine always laugh at me when I do that. But I papa for.
I call, but later, ne? And I always tell him it's important to take pictures.
Yeah. It's memories.
Memories.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to take pictures now. I said, I was with Arthur. Now my daughter will say, oh, Daddy, can you remember you said he's going to help you with this? That's him.
Growing up without a father
Yes,
foundation, how did you
Studied.
Yeah, studied, and the concept. What was the reason behind it?
As I was sitting on a Father's Day, I was sitting in church on a Father's Day with my kids now. Ne? So the pastor was preaching, and they started to say, can all the fathers please stand up? Let the children honor their fathers.
As a confident father, I'm sure you were the first to stand up.
No. That thing hits me.
Oh.
He said to me, but even the church is discriminating against us without fathers. I've never heard or seen something that they say, can the people that don't have fathers please stand up so that let's honor them, that the dads in the church that are there, just come and give a hug to a child without a father and everything. So while I was sitting there, I said, no, man, I think I must write a book about this and start a foundation so that we can make the children aware that are fatherless, saying that, you know what, ne? To be fatherless is not a handicap. Look at us. We went, single mothers, domestic workers and everything, they pushed us. Uncles came in and motivated us to be where we are. Ne? So I'm going to start this foundation to create an awareness to the kids that grew up without fathers, that saying that, this is not the end of the world. You don't have to be kissing the nyaupe guy, the gangster, to get love and affirmation. You don't have to. So, and also try to motivate fathers that are already in existence and say, that child don't have a father. Why don't you take him? When you take your children to a sports and everything, take that child also with, so that that child can understand the world without a father and with a father, because we're building for the future.
But the question I have for you now is it about having the father in the house or having the father acknowledging that you exist?
No, the father must be present, Arthur.
So if you don't have, you are not married to,
yes,
then what then happens in that situation?
Then you must be an involved father.
Hence I said, is it about the presence in the house or the presence
in the child's life?
Yes.
Yes, in the child's life. You also find mothers that don't want you there.
Hence I was asking the question that how do you then deal with such situations? Is it about the presence inside the house or the presence in somebody's mind and life?
Life and mind. life in mind, because I always also tell single mothers and grandmothers and grand aunties, don't hide away who the child's father is. Because when that child realizes one day that you are hiding my father away from me, that child is going to turn against you. Let your child know from small age that that drug lord is my father.
What if you are sitting here as Dr. Pietersen? You have a child that you're not aware of. And that child is raised as somebody's son. Or, and you discover who takes the blame.
Also on the other side, you will find it, I give it the one night stand.
Hence I'm asking these questions.
So I have to acknowledge, like I said to my kids, hey, daddy, them, you know, we used to do this. So we don't know. If someone comes up, or a sister of you, because my children will always be thrown at, what will you do if your sister come one day? Like with me, I've got a sister. My father was a Rolling Stone, because I asked him how many kids did he father. Hey, my daddy was a Rolling Stone. I asked him, hey, Tati, tell me, out of all, I came to look up for you. How many of us did you father out there? He said, hey, there's a few of you, Charlie. I said, if you have to die now, who's going to bury you? He said, no, you. I said, how when I don't know you? He said, nah, but you're the only one that came and looked for me. So my situation will be, I have to acknowledge my child. But I need to make sure, because we have to have DNA tests, because people are just dropping children on you. If I find out and the gap is there, then I'll have to make sure that I close that gap of my absence in the child's life.
So what's the role of the foundation?
The role of the foundation, we go to schools. We do a lot of men's gatherings where we talk about this issue, churches and everything. And especially in the church, I'm pushing the church to say, a church must have a program to look after the single mother and the fatherless kids. Because I always said that, hey, so by the way, don't forget, Jesus was also fatherless.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Joseph was not his real
so
father.
So that becomes a motivation.
And said, because there's greatness in you, so you can become somebody great. But you need to become somebody great. And also, Arthur, what I'm saying to people, don't always say, I don't want to be like my father. You don't know who he is. Don't even go that way. Because if I say I don't want to be like my father, then it means that my father used to father a lot of kids. And the Bible said the things that you fear the most will come on you. So be yourself. Find yourself. Who are you?
So what do you do in a daily life through the foundation, in your daily life? Do you seek funding and go out there and preach about the fatherless children, or what do you do? I'm just trying to have an idea.
What we do, I've got a lot of volunteers. At a stage when, before COVID, we did very, very well. We started to open up satellite branches, Cape Town, Durban, what. And we trained, like APSA used to invest a lot in our foundation, saying that I want you to go and do the schools there and everything. That's where I also met King Goodwill Zweletini. I also met Mangasutu Buthelezi, the late Prince Mangasutu Buthelezi. So on a daily basis, we used to train the trainers when there's funding. But without funding, you can't do anything. So what we do now is that we'll go to schools, especially the troubled schools. We'll say, hey man, we've got a problem with our boys here. Come help me. So we will go to Brits and have a nice day workshop, talk about positiveness, because I've learned after that, when you go to a trouble school, don't go talk about the trouble that they are already doing. So when I arrived there, I look at the greatness. I said, yo, Wena.
Oh, yes, inspire them.
Yes. And I've got a lot of role models that are also linked to my foundation. I said, no, man, let me put Arthur on the line. Arthur, yeah, man, born, Akibana. Hey! Yeah. And I promised he would turn around.
So you also wrote a book, right?
Yeah.
What's in the book?
Which one?
Growing up without a father.
It's my life story.
Okay.
How my single mother raised me, and also stories about other kids that are fatherless, that also, rise up to the occasion. And now, what we're trying to say to the one that is down and out there in the ashes is that you don't have to be there. Herman Mashaba also grew up without a
My father?
father. Yeah, he was telling me when he was 14, you know, he was as wild as his father. But we also trying to get people like that, Arthur, to become role models, to become ambassadors, to talk about. Don't be scared to talk about you grew up without a father, because we don't know. You can be motivating 10, 20 other people, especially soccer stars and rugby stars. So I'm trying to get to these guys to be champions of this. And my goal now is to get Cristiano Ronaldo, if you look at his life,
Yeah.
to be ambassador of our foundation, because I want to build an academy, Arthur. Ne?
And I'm glad you're mentioning Cristiano Ronaldo. And I did mention something way back. And doesn't he seem troubled?
In a way, but he controls it beautifully.
How so? More especially now lately, is it not coming out? And I'm saying it so that you try and show me something that I'm not seeing, but I see a troubled man.
In a way, but what I like of him, he's also a great visualizer. Because most of the concepts, even in my book, I'm taking it from him. I don't know if you've seen him after that.
And he's one of the most hardworking.
He's 40.
I feel like he takes out everything into his work.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. And very emotional person also.
Hence, I'm asking if he's not troubled or...
He is, but he controls it.
Because sometimes I sit down
Big
and
time.
say, this man wanted to do something for his dad. And his dad passed away before he could make it. That's what I feel.
You're right.
I might be wrong.
You're right. So I have to get to him and tell him, please release your father, because you are a prisoner of your father.
Hey, because...
He is. Because he's gone. The father is gone. He is, but he's one of my great inspirational people that I use when it comes to
I
visualization.
was going to say that, more especially for young people.
Yes.
Because who better to be a role model than Ronaldo?
Then Ronaldo, yeah.
Hardworking,
Hardworking.
Like-
a giver.
disciplined.
Discipline, a giver. Everything. Look what he's doing off the field and everything. So I'm working on
And
him.
he's
Arthur.
growing his businesses as
Yes, he's huge, that guy.
Yes.
Arthur, that's my dream. I'm gonna meet that guy. I met Steve Harvey through my visualization.
well. Yeah. So
The
now
power
the
of
target is
attraction.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, Marcus Rashford.
I love Rashford as well.
Yes, Tyler Perry. I've got them, Papa. When I go in my prayer room, I say,
Does Rashford still have his foundation?
yeah, and he's pushing it big time. He's one of the great guys. So those are my dreams. I said, Lord, you can't take me if I haven't met those guys.
Yeah. So what's your vision going forward? More especially when it comes to, you do a lot of things though. It's life coaching, motivational speaking,
Yeah.
which is linked with life coaching,
Yeah.
writing books,
Yeah,
and running the foundation.
yeah. My biggest dream now is to build the academy now. This academy will be a 1-year course for fatherless kids and orphans, where we teach them self-love, self-confidence, rejection, all those rejections in life, and also give them a skill. If it's a musician, I'll be asking you to come and lecture at the academy. If it's soccer, I'll be asking that one to come and give them a lecture on certain things. So we want to give them a skill, because it's not always that you need to have a degree to achieve certain things. If you look at the Afrikaners, they've got a technicon here. I don't know if you've seen that. They built it for over 300 million rand.
Oh yes, I heard about it.
Soltech.
Not so long ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Soltech.
Was AfriForum not involved?
Part of them.
Yes.
Yes. They built it for 300 million, but they said every Afrikaner boy must have a skill. And now what they're doing with these boys, Donald Trump won them now. So they're going to give them all to America to go get a job. So why can't we do that for our fatherless kids instead of them dying of nyaupe and all the drugs and everything on the streets.
Also, the application that was made to Donald Trump not so long ago, I saw somebody signing something. Was it about the very same thing?
No, I get this thing is about, they said they are oppressed in everything,
Yes.
the Afrikaners. No, it's not about the college.
Okay.
But the college, what they do, they train the Afrikaner boys. They gave them skills in their companies, the white ones. Say, go get a skill of a plumber there. Go get a skill of a technician there. Get the skill there. After they gave them the certificate.
Off air, we joked about something because I want to close off, but I laughed so hard off air, and I'm just trying to link that with what you're saying. You spoke about special projects.
Yeah, special projects.
Yes. And you're also a life coach. Do you believe in special projects?
No ways. Those things don't work.
Exactly what I said, but you argued with me.
I didn't
Guys,
argue,
special
man.
projects, we're talking about Motine.
Yeah.
So he's a life coach, and he was saying, hey, but did you see what pirates did to Sadouts?
No, it's a mind thing.
So he said special projects come into play, and I'm saying, but those things don't work.
They don't work, I think.
Okay, they're just scare tactics.
Yeah, but let me tell you, Palacios, ne?
Yes.
They wonder.
I was sitting with him, in fact, on that day.
Ask Palacios, when Pirates won that King Africa Cup, Cabo Jerisco
Yes.
Sana, ne? Palacios said to me, hey, Muna, when I got to the plane, I remember I forgot that thing. So I went and buy strawberry. You see strawberry?
Yeah.
The red one.
Yeah.
I put in bottle. I gave to them.
And they,
Yes. Ntate Molemela, ne?
so in your life coaching,
Yeah.
would you consider special
No
projects?
ways. That's why they are. I need to take them out of that mindset. So what we did.
But I mean, if Palacios managed to give people strawberry juice and make them think it's a special project, why not?
No. What happened that when we play but Chiefs, all those guys, they use these things heavy.
Yeah.
So Ntate said to me one day, we were driving from Bloemfontein.
But do they believe they work?
Who?
The
players.
teams? Yeah.
Certain players believe in
Okay.
that.
Maybe they work.
It's here, Arthur.
Okay.
Others have been given Smarties to eat.
Yeah.
So on our way, we play in Cosmos, and you know when you play Cosmos, oh, me, that they said, hey, Charlie, vare muroto wa ngwana ke stlhare. So give your boy some water all the way and cool drink. Let him pee in bottles. So my boy, I think was 3 years or 4 years. Ne? Daddy, I'm hungry. Drink cool drink, my boy. So we collect these bottles of his pee. So when we arrive at the stadium, we were throwing the pee.
Did you win the game?
Yeah. But guys, it's all in the mind. Limafura fariki. Yeah, kotsefela fariki.
The thing is, I have played football.
You know other things, man.
Till today, I still don't understand why we did certain things.
So this one guy.
So wait, at Celtics, did you do this one of jumping the fight? Oh, you never jumped the fight?
No.
So
But
you were just...
no, we were using neutralizer.
Okay.
Ebo, pea,
Yes.
fat, pig fat and everything.
Leave my pirates alone. Just leave pirates alone. If it works for us, guys, we just need trophies.
Guys,
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Pietersen.
those things don't work.